Welcome to the channel. My name's Brian. I'm an SEO and AI search expert with over 10 years experience. And today's video is about an update to Google Search Console. So we are going to get data from social platforms coming into Google Search Console. But there's a couple of things to be aware of. The first one is exactly what data this is going to show. Right from the announcement, site owners and creators will now understand how their social and video posts perform on Google Search and Discover, right? And that's a really important line right there, because this is not data coming in from your YouTube channel and telling you how many times your video got clicked on YouTube. This is your video showed up in a Google search, someone clicked it, and that data is coming into Google Search Console. To kind of illustrate this and make it clear, if I search something like how to shell a lobster and I look at the results, there's going to be a videos section. So if your video shows up here and you get a click, or if you get an impression, it's going to come into Google Search Console. You've got your AI overview, and you've got short videos as a section as well. So any one of these, if you get an impression, a click, or whatever, it's going to come into Google Search Console. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that this only applies to 4 social platforms for now. So that's going to be Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube as per the announcement. There's going to be a few reports associated with this within Google Search Console. Number one, you're going to get your performance report, and that's going to be very similar to what you already see in Google Search Console, what you're used to. That's going to show your clicks, your impressions, and additional metrics. And they do go on to say we're going to get query data. So this is going to be highly actionable, because you're going to be able to see the searches, the search terms that associate with your different social assets. It says that you can export the data. And personally, I'm hoping that the Google Search Console MCP that can hook into Claude Code will give us access to this data, because it would be really nice to be able to just kind of talk to Claude Code and get some insights on the data that's coming in here. You're also going to get an insights report, which can be very nice, actually helping you to make sense of all the data that is coming in. And they give a screenshot of one of these insight reports. You can see the title right here in the upper left, and you've got this report that YouTube content had 17,000 800 clicks in the last 28 days on Google search. And I'm sure there are plenty of areas here that you can click into and get further insights. Here's how they say you sign up for this. So supposedly in the top left of your Google Search Console, where you would click and see a drop down of the properties in your account, you just go to the bottom and click add property like you normally would. And then you should see this screen. And this is going to give you the option to add any one of those 4 social platforms, or maybe multiple. Now, when will you see this? It's kind of unpredictable. I'm not seeing it for any clients at my agency, not that I know of yet, and I'm not seeing it in any of my personal accounts yet, but there are some people on LinkedIn that I follow that do see it already. Now, they have some pretty sizable followings on socials, so maybe that is why they get it first. But Google does say it's going to be rolling out over the next few weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Now, on that topic, I do want to talk a little bit more about socials and how important these are. We've kind of gone away from the traditional marketing funnel, where you have top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel. People don't follow such a rigid, structured path anymore. The folks at SparkToro refer to this more as a marketing pinball machine, where people are going to bounce around from social platforms to websites, just all over the place. And this kind of depicts it right here. Someone might notice something scrolling on Instagram. It might interest them. Maybe they hop over to YouTube and watch a couple of videos on it to learn more. They might go to Reddit to see what people are saying about it and get that human-to-human trust building. And then maybe they have a brand in mind, and that's when they do a Google search and they go ahead and convert. That's just one way this can play out. I'm sure you have paid attention to, your path toward buying a product or booking a service. If you really focus on it, it is all over the place. So with that being the case, it's becoming more and more important for businesses to get on social platforms. And that's really prohibitive. It's difficult, especially the video platforms. That's a heavy lift, and it's really hard for businesses and brands to be consistent with that. But it does help a lot. If I search something like build a retaining wall uphill, and I look at the AI overview and the first traditional search result, I see a video from SRM Contracting. And if I click into that channel, this guy's got well over 63,000 subscribers on YouTube. And his most popular videos, if we click on those, have millions of views. Now, a good portion of those millions are not going to become converting customers or anything, but some portion of them will, and it's certainly helping him with his brand exposure. If you look at his website, it's nothing to write home about. It's got a domain rating from Ahrefs of just 1, so we can assume that his page rank isn't very strong. His authority is not really there. And the website is not doing him any favors. So the YouTube channel, honestly, on digital is one of his primary assets. And if you look at like a giant in the local space, Wakefield Plumbing has 725,000 subscribers on YouTube alone, and he's got one heck of a platform spread. He's all over the place. Facebook, I think he's on Instagram too. It's pretty much anywhere you look. He's been working on this though. If you look at, the oldest video, it's 9 years old. So he's been putting in the effort for almost a decade now, and he really understands the social game. It's all about platform spread and being everywhere you can possibly be, everywhere your potential customers could be, and giving yourself the best chance to get in front of them. Something else that's really interesting is this doesn't just apply to local businesses. 10 months ago, I made a post about the Edward Jones YouTube channel and how I thought it was really under-nurtured. In another post a year ago, I posted about Edward Jones again, but I compared them to one of their competitors, Charles Schwab, and showed the difference in YouTube as an initiative. If we go to their channels, Edward Jones, okay, at the time I posted, so anywhere from 10 to 12 months ago, they had around 11,000 subscribers. They now have 12,600. But if we go to Charles Schwab, they at the time had less than 500,000 subscribers. Now they have 545,000 in the same time frame. At the time of comparison, Schwab was way bigger. They've been investing much more heavily into YouTube, and it's paying off. Tons of brand exposure and a lot of trust can be built on this platform. And in that time period, they've shown way more growth. I'm really bullish on YouTube, and this update in Google Search Console just got me thinking about social media and YouTube, and how as marketers, we need to be thinking of ways to convince our clients to get on social platforms, to make consistency as easy as possible, and kind of guide them through the whole thing. We also need to challenge ourselves as marketers because social is a different game. There is some overlap between SEO in traditional search and on a website with social, but there's a whole lot that is completely different. So if you haven't yet, I would advise doing the same thing we did as younger SEOs in years past. We started our own websites, we experimented, and we gained our own learnings. That's really important, and you should do the same thing on social media. Start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram, start a TikTok, start posting, try to grow an audience. You don't have to go viral, but just doing that alone is going to put you ahead of a lot of marketers, and you're going to be able to help your clients a lot more just from being in the weeds and getting that experience. An exciting update from Google. They're recognizing the importance of social media, and as marketers, I think it's important to help our clients expand far beyond just websites and Google business profiles so they can reach their full potential and pull ahead of the competition. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment so I can understand, what kind of content you're looking for, and I'll see you in the next video.